leaving it up to you all as to whether or not we head to Zhongshan to reunite Valorian with his old people, or if we go after Hellfang. We don't have to make the decision right now. Sure, we have plenty on our minds. What we have to worry about right now is what we're going to tell the princess and what the princess is going to tell the general. It's looking like the parley is going to
Indeed.
happen later tonight.
But on that previous matter, I feel I may have drug you all into some horrific circumstances. Though it may not be my doing alone. What has happened as of late, and with some of these feelings and memories reawakening, I feel that it should be left to you all where you would like to go next after this.
Right
Now that I
away.
have thoroughly ruined this conversation, coffee, please. To the tavern.
You are
Cold, by the way.
quickly brought a very nice cold brew coffee.
Of course, they've got.
Well, yeah, it originated in Japan. Sorry, Crescient. Radovan leans forward, finishes off his own coffee. Well, never forget, Sir Zarbosa. I had a lot of these fine people with you here. They've already seen plenty of horrific circumstances. You're brought out with a memory, one of Nag's memories, Ral, of standing around Clarence Florentine, or what was left of him, as Cecil tried to bring him back to life. Pulsating mass of sentient body part. The memory fades just as quick as it came, and Radovan continues talking. So, horrific circumstances, not very new for this group. Huh. And I'm afraid that the whole world is about to get wrapped up if we don't get ahead of whatever the Blue is planning.
You know, Radovan, you are very lucky that I have a 5-stage valve in my throat and esophagus. Or else I might have done what you all call a spit take. Ral says, setting down his coffee.
Well, Radovan regards the group. I suggest taking the morning and even the afternoon to collect your thoughts and talk and try and work out why it is you're here and what it is you're doing. Take care of each other, Radovan says. We're not expected back with the princess until this evening, so there's no rush. Ono is a safe city. I don't expect too much could happen between now and then. And as he says that, you start hearing a commotion from the south gate. Sounds like a lot of voices yelling.
Oh, great.
You know, Radovan, you really need to learn when to close your fucking mouth.
It would seem so, Radovan says.
Ral just downs the other half of his coffee and stands up.
Kristoff, after
Yeah!
a night of travel, you've arrived at the border of the town of Ono. Paige and Contigo are with you, and some very zealous guards have their spears out and they're pointing them at you. Hold on, who are you? Identify yourself.
Such a lovely country, you know it, Contigo?
It's Contigo is trying to explain. He's not with the Imperialist. He's not with Tanaka. He's not anything you think.
You give two shits less about that little fucker.
The guard stares at you. He shakes his head. No. We have a certain amount of foreigners in this town, and I know all of their faces and what all of them look like. You are not it. I do not know you. So identify yourself and what you're doing.
Name is Christoph. Kind of a freelance guy. I'm not with the other group, but I'd like to talk to him.
Well, as you say that, coincidentally enough, Valorian and Radovan are coming up to the gate, and whoever followed Raoul and Radovan as they headed out.
Smiley follow.
So.
Are you like throwing spells at me? Damn! Pew! 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 Mortared. Is this them?
Is this us? Radovan looks at himself and the group curiously. Is this us? He seems.
I was asking Contigo.
Contigo waves at Radovan, and Radovan waves back. Ahoy there! Yes, Mr. Guard. Radovan pipes up. The, strong-looking one. He's with us, yes. The guard widens his eyes and looks back at Radovan. He wasn't with you last time. Radovan shrugs.
He's with us this time.
Yes. The guard looks at you again, Kristoff, and lowers his spear, gets out of your way.
Good work, though. Good job.
Guard's just like, we're on the brink of a second war. You can never pay to be too careful.
You should also learn when someone looking at you could fry you in an instant.
The guard suddenly gives Kristoff a very scared look.
That's not my style, you're alright.
Radovan pipes up. So, I couldn't help but overhear your conversation with the nice guard here. You'd like to talk with us?
Yeah! Been kind of following you guys around. Pretty easy to fucking follow around.
I know. It's still worrisome, though.
Talked to a nice wooden lady up in the tower.
Hilda?
Yeah.
She's still alive.
Oh, yeah.
What about her husband?
Not so much.
Oh, sorry to hear that. Come on, let's not stand here in the entryway to the city. Back to the tavern.
Okay.
So, all kind of get comfy, I guess.
Kristoff is a human. 100%, no fake. Probably looks older than he is because he's got long white hair. Kind of darkish skin, and his eyes just kind of constant like a storm's. Get too close to him, it's kind of like when you get a little close to those balls that makes your hair stand up on your arm. It's like he's got a little
generator.
He's got a little static electricity around him if you get too close. Wearing full plate with a warhammer and a shield. As far as he knows, he's full.
So, who are you?
My name's Kristoff.
Right. Good to meet you.
Y'all put on quite a show on Kitsune Island, let me tell you what.
Not entirely our intention to broadcast that, but, what happened happened.
Just I think we might be after the same. Y'all don't like them dragons. I don't like them dragons.
We have a strong aversion to one in particular. But I wouldn't say we hate dragons.
I didn't say hate. I said like. Guess I could be proven wrong, but I've never had any good dealings with any of them.
Radovan pipes up. Well, forgive me intruding, but you haven't had good dealings with them. You've had dealings with dragons?
I'll have it.
Radovan kind of looks protectively towards Ralorian.
We've had our dealings with a few of them, yes.
I mean, I was a holy man for them for a while, but they didn't do much good, so fuck 'em. Now I'm a holy man for something.
For what?
May I ask whose banner you
The ones
spent
that
your
were here,
time under?
the ones that are here before the dragon.
I meant beforehand, when you
I think it was the
spending
white
your
dragon.
time.
I think that was his original backstory. The white dragon.
Yeah, the white dragon, Atma, or Asura.
Atma. Not a lot of help. Pray and nothing happens. Kind of pisses you off when you lose those closest. Feel like what's the
Radovan thoughtfully tilts his head. Yes, well, the connection between humans and dragons and the various ways that they're worshipped, it's tenuous at best.
So I found something, and it works out pretty good. Keeps me alive, keeps me safe, helps me track you all.
Well, that is something I wanted a little bit more detail on, Radovan asks. Uh, why us specifically?
I mean, I guess after that stunt on Kitsune Island, I figured if I was going to find some powerful allies that might be after the thing I was, it'd be you folk.
Right. I should have known everybody
We
in
are
Cressy.
probably one of the loudest and boisterous bunches of
Y'all leave a trail of
movers and shakers.
destruction wherever the fuck you go.
I'd
Wherever.
like to tell that that is not intentional, and some of it is not off.
I mean, it just makes you all easy to follow, that's all. And the destruction that you leave, you have to be powerful.
Inika's just gonna swirl the drink a little bit. It was rather easy to track you across all of Crescent when I first found you.
Yeah. Just look for smoke, loud noises, or that big green fucker.
Fuck yeah, white people.
Red guy's weird though.
That's an understatement.
You get a strange feeling from Z, Kristoff. It's a comfortable feeling, not a bad strange, like a good strange. You can't quite put your finger on it, though.
Hmm.
Well, your eyes, Kristoff, can't help but notice the Are you presenting your gem right now, Ral? Is it just always out?
No. That
It's hidden.
is not out unless I'm casting stuff.
All right.
And
So,
even then, it may not be out.
so as far as you know, the only one you get a strange sensation from is Z. Um, Radovan. Radovan pipes up, as he tends to do. Right. Well, I can tell by looking at you, you're not somebody to be trifled with. And you're looking for allies in some kind of quest against the dragons? Am I understanding this correctly?
Just 2 thumbs up. Like, hey, you got it.
Well, it so happens that we have a vested interest in getting ahead of a certain dragon's plans at the moment.
All right. I came to the right place.
So Radovan gets you a drink and explains pretty much all the relevant details up until this point. It's about like an hour-long story.
I will
Meatballs.
begrudgingly listen. I can just hear smiling, being like, "Are you sure? Meat walls. Are you sure this is something you want to get involved in? Meat walls."
It's pretty bad.
I'd like to hear this full hour of story in character voices.
Oh,
All
no.
right.
Well, bedtime.
Radovan clears his throat. Right.
Kristoff
So,
puts his mouth, hand over his mouth, and casts no. Shocking breath. Numb his tongue so he can't talk.
So
Give me
yeah,
the too long.
the
didn't read it
TLDR
version.
version.
Yeah.
There's Blue Dragon. His name is Shilanis. He has big plans for humanity, and probably not anything good, but we don't know exactly what they are. That's what we're trying to find out. We are aided by a green dragon named Lenia. Radovan leaves out the part where she's living in Ral's head. He just says we're being aided by a green dragon named Lenia, who all evidence supports her also wanting to stand against Shelanis.
And you trust him?
As far as we know, she's trustworthy. After all, she's saved our lives a couple of times. We came to...
Without her, at least I would surely be dead.
Radovan nods. We came to Crescent because we had intel that those who had experimented with dragon resurrection, we had intel that they were operating out of this island. As it so happens, things are a civil powder keg when we get over here ready to explode, and neither Tanaka side or the Asuka side is willing to lend us a hand until one side is the clear victor. So, while getting wrapped up in that, we've also been looking into other forces at play. Radovan looks a little lost at this point and turns to somebody in the party. That's where the Kitsune Island part comes in, which I was not present for, and still don't have all the details.
Sadly, explaining Kitsune Island is difficult.
Weird place.
I could assist you in an understanding, if you don't mind a slight intrusion.
But what would I have picked up behind him after being there?
So you would have seen the Kitsune village shelled by cannon. Wait, no, they didn't shell. He didn't shell it because you guys turned over the gym. But it is emptied out. So it's not shelled. All the buildings like seemed fine, but it looks like everybody left in a hurry. And there was no real sign of anybody living there when you got there.
But I've known what was there before. That extent.
Yes, you would have known to some extent that there was some ancient fae concentrated there. That would be the only explanation for such a powerful magical field around the entire island. The fact that it's gone means something happened to that spirit.
Y'all done fucked with the ancient fae that was there, did
Yes.
I
He was
choke a little
contained.
on my coffee,
you?
but don't say anything. As default, as normal, I am in old man mode, not fox mode. And happy to let others talk about it until I deem otherwise.
He
What was its name?
I believe it was Gaian?
Yes. You would have... Christoph, you know more about the nature of ancient fae than, probably anybody in this group would. So you have observed that when enough arcane quote-unquote energy is concentrated in a certain place for long enough, it develops some level of sentience and sapience. It's a completely transcendental kind of life. It's not carbon-based. You know that these so-called ancient fae, they were here before dragons or humans or pretty much any other form of life on this planet.
I will relay all that.
So, best as you can tell, Christoph, they bumped into a particularly massive concentration of the arcane that was calling itself Gaian.
Must have been a pretty big source of arcane energy.
Yeah, it was. Albeit contained, and while roughly mocks out the size and shape of the object they had shattered.
Yes.
Infinite cosmic power. Itty bitty limit space.
Damn it. It's true, though. Shit.
One of that wasn't the only one. There's other. Maybe.
You can feel one right now.
Is it red?
Hi, Dory.
No, it's not. It's angry. Whatever it is, it's really fucking hateful.
Oh, yeah. Hey. Where's that mad little guy you got from the tower?
The music box.
Yeah. That's another one.
It's being kept at the moment.
Can I look at it?
Hi, Dory.
I hope you would understand a bit of hesitance.
I searched you guys out. Wow.
Radovan.
There have been more than a few that have searched us out.
Radovan regards the five of you. He's like, there's five of you and one of him. So far, he's the only one that seems to actually know what he's talking about with this ancient fae business. I'm just saying. He shrugs.
Say we let him take a look at it.
No funny business.
None.
Sure. Let's go upstairs.
Yeah. I'll follow her.
Okay. So
Guess we're both there.
everybody gathers around to a more private place upstairs.
And once we are secluded away, Ral is going to cast Private Sense.
Nice. So you're making it soundproof? Pretty cool.
Yep, soundproof, and of course, no spying in it.
So as you get up there, Kristoff and the rest of you, you see Ral cast some magic, and suddenly things get very private, real quick.
Ooh. Initiation or something?
I'm getting tired of prying eyes, is all.
Okay.
Ral will pull over a table into the center of the room and pull the music box out and set it down.
Well, look at it.
So you look at this music box, and yes, it's definitely an ancient Fae in there, but not one that anybody would really ever want to interact with. It looks like this one came together from the energy of a lot of people who are now dead, all being let out at once, kind of like a mass extinction event. Looks like memories and their life essence coalesced up into this music box. And the only thing you can really get out of it is an unwavering sense of righteous indignation.
All right, let me see if we can get some answers out of this thing. I will clap my hands together. I will reach into my bag, and I will pull out some incense and a little holy water.
Still alive.
And I'll cast this.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna talk to my homie.
Okay.
I don't really know what I'm gonna ask him, but we're gonna chit chat.
All right. So, for you, Kristoff, things around you go darkened for a bit. You suddenly, as usual, see yourself in the third person, standing out in some field around here. Your benefactor is there. Their back is turned to you as normal. You can't make out too many features about them, but you can tell that they are listening.
So the box it's got another one of you in it. Real angry.
So it is. I can feel it.
Is there a way this box to show others what happened?
Your benefactor pauses for a moment. You wish to expose us. Do you feel now
No.
is the right time?
Mm, I mean, people need something. If it's gonna be if the dragons are coming back, they need to know there's something else that can help them.
Your benefactor bows his head. Formless, shadowy figure amongst the robes. Yes, I see.
And I mean, I don't necessarily want to expose what's. I just want people to know what happened. Not necessarily what it is.
The memories of those who lost their lives at the city of Waterfall. That is part of what makes up the entity inside that music box. If you concentrate, you should be able to bring those memories out without awakening that rage once again.
But should we like bury it when we're done with it?
You should.
Can't let somebody find that and release it
You should set it free. As the
like they did.
Yes, as the others did, with the one calling himself Gaian.
So just a break. If we breaking it, we'll set it free.
Indeed, it's all tied to a physical object in the material plane. Once that object is broken, then all of the arcane force goes back to as it should be, neither fully in the material plane nor fully out of it.
Okay, and I'm assuming it'll be a large boom.
You can sense a bit of humor from your benefactor. Rather large kaboom, yes. I would do it far away from anybody you wouldn't want caught in that blast of hatred.
Alright, thanks. But yeah, y'all are gonna have to show yourselves eventually.
The shadowy figure shakes his head. There's one of us, and there is many of us. The nature of our existence, humanity is going to have to grapple with to understand, and right now, they have too much to grapple with already. And with that, the vision of your benefactor fades away, and you're back in Relorian's private sanctum.
Alright, so here's what we can do. Use this music box. We concentrate real hard, show others what happened at the tower without re-releasing that whatever's in there. I'm assuming it's nasty. Real angry. So
That's
that
why
might
we brought it
if
out with
we-
us, isn't it?
Did
I-
accidentally release it.
you just have to put it back in there. Or break the music box, that'll release it. Like you did over on the island.
Fair enough.
I'm just saying, you've got a means to be able to show the people what took place at that tower and whose fault it was to help you in your peace.
We do. May I try something?
I mean, that's vague.
Intentional, but
Well, maybe if we could maybe if we could narrow it down just a little bit. I told you what I was gonna do. I just said I wanted to look at the music box before I did it. I've been
I'm
pretty close so far.
wondering if with my interesting set of skills, I can try and broadcast this.
Oh, so you don't want to do anything to me?
Not going to try and do anything to you particular. I'm just going to try and see if I can tap into these latent memories via the arcane. Give you all a glimpse of what everyone else will see when I turn up the volume a bit.
All right. Yeah, sure. I'll tap you on the shoulder and I will give you a guidance.
I
Ancient Fate be with you.
will put my hands on either side of the music box. Lift the lid up just a little bit to let it start playing, and I'm going to try with Draconic, or if I sense I need otherwise, I will cast a spell to tap into the memories here and broadcast them to my friends. Only for like 45 seconds.
Let's do that with a Arcana roll, and you have the guidance. Okay, I'm gonna go with that succeeds.
I want him to roll the 4, though. I want to see a 30.
On the
30,
dot.
boom.
Nice. So, yes, opening the music box, you are once again flooded with a familiar feeling to that of Kitsune Island when Gaian was around. Something that is all-encompassing, but definitely without the curious edge of Gaian. No, this one's just angry. But you close your mind off to the anger attempting to seep into it, and focus instead on the constituent memories held within this arcane cluster. And it's not long at all before you can get a pretty good view of everything that went down. More or less the same vision you saw with the medium, now being replayed via you. So,
Hey, looky there. We're already working as a team. Wow, that didn't take long
Quite
at all.
wonderfully, I might add.
yeah.
Did we?
I don't know any of your names, so please.
I'm Smiley.
Nice to meet you, Smiley.
You're Christoph?
Yeah, you look like the leader of this ragtag.
Some have called me Captain.
Okay.
I think I exclusively call you Captain.
Oh. Yes, some people have exclusively called me Captain.
Well, all right, Captain it is. All right.
But I am Relorian Zarbosa.
How about Rao?
That is what most people call me.
Works.
Inako Tozawa.
Pleasure's all mine. Fight on the side of the ones that are the losers in the first war?
Inako's just kind of like thousand
I
yard
mean-
stare for a minute there.
I'm just
Do you
trying
have
to
to put it like that?
I assume you fight for the side that's gonna win the second one.
I'm on the side of the people.
That works. But you, old timer.
He's talking to you, Renard, not Radovan.
He sure is, yeah. Name's Renard. Sunny.
Are you like the cook or something?
Or something.
Like that works.
You'll meet our cook once we get back to the capital.
Awesome. All right.
Careful that she doesn't talk your ears off, though.
Also, good to know.
On that, have you had breakfast yet? Or is it lunchtime?
It's probably around like 10 o'clock by now.
Have you had brunch?
No, I haven't.
Well, let's get a bite to eat, and let me tell you about this time I caught this really big fish.
Awesome. I love the food.
He tells really great stories.
That works.
If you live
I'll
to
go
be
eat
my
brunch.
age, you'll have plenty of good stories to tell too.
With 120 feet, could I straight up just encase the building that we're in?
120 feet. Yeah, that could probably cover the Oh No Tavern. Yeah.
You know, that's just covering the tavern then.
Nice.
I'll go downstairs and eat some brunch.
Brunch time.
Maybe have a
Old
Bloody
man
Mary.
needs a good brunch to keep his strength up.
So, people gather around. Food is served. And Radovin's piping up again. Right. Pretty soon we'll have to start making our preparations to head south. Kristoff, you're very new. It's not quite habit to refer to you as a member of the party yet. Do you have any means of transportation? A horse? Some kind of mount?
Yeah, I'm sure I have a horse.
Fair enough.
I mean, I'm asking you. I'm sure I have a horse.
Yeah, you have a horse.
Oh. Yeah, I picked up a horse when I got here.
Pick up a horse?
Pretty
Yeah,
strong.
I like bought one to ride. Yeah.
He would have been more impressed if you told him you actually lifted a horse.
That's not really my thing. Got a certain set of skills, and picking up horses isn't one of them.
Radovan's gonna glance at Inako. Well, let's hope the princess isn't too shocked by another strange adventurer showing up. But I imagine
still a
She's
little
totally
late for the
worried
party.
right now.
That's true. Okay. Whenever you all are ready to go.
If you wanted to send word to your princess, you may wish to step outside the tavern lest it not work.
I believe Inoko already gave her report when you got here, right?
Yep.
Okay, so that's already done with.
Okay, Ral wasn't paying attention, so he's just giving a fair warning.
I mean, that makes
I mean,
sense.
she snuck off and did it. He wasn't there when she did it, so.
Especially after that escape. So Radovan says, "All right, let me know when you all are ready to head out. I'll be getting the mounts ready." And he strolls out of the tavern.
Before I leave the tavern, I asked the barkeep if I could get a very expensive bottle of booze.
Ah, well, sure. Last time you all came through here, the big green one got the most expensive bottle, so how about the second most expensive?
Sure. How much is that one?
She lists off like 50 silver. Just round down to 0.
I get it.
Nice.
And do you have some like hot meat pies?
Ooh,
Oh, the meat pies. Wow, that's a big callback.
Uh-huh.
Except this barkeep looks very confused. Meat pie?
Yeah. It's a pie with meat in it.
You talking about gyoza?
Am I?
I don't think there's a concept of. I mean, I don't know feudal Japan cuisine. I'm assuming that gyoza and pot stickers would be the equivalent.
How close is that to a meat pie?
Let me just pull
Pretty
up a
close.
picture of gyoza because you're making me hungry now.
I'd like to think wherever Korgeth is, he's like, I feel a disturbance in the meat pie force.
He's having second thoughts.
The one thing that can bring me back. No, he's got a lot to figure out.
So this is gyoza. It's uploading right now. It's too high res. High res gyoza takes a long time to upload, I guess. Yes, Calypso. All right. So that's what gyoza looks like. It's a dumpling
It's like-
basically, but
It's like meat dumplings.
Okay.
yeah, it's like empanada but Japan.
I want like 40 of them.
Right. The barkeep seems prepared this time, though, as the last time you guys came through, it went something like this as well. So it doesn't take too terribly long before you've got 40 warm gyoza rolls.
Great. I take them and I pay for them. I will pay a gold for everything.
Okay.
And then I pull out a piece of parchment and I find the group and I sign, take care, you will be missed. Please enjoy this treat and good spirits to you. Signed, Renard. And I pass it around the group for everyone to sign.
Aww.
Everyone sign it.
Even Iniko signs it.
Aww.
Great.
Realm signs.
I then am going to cast this spell that I found, which is super awesome. I renamed it to Renard's Speedy Courier. And I'm going to put all of these meat dumplings, the bottle of booze, and the note inside the chest, and send it to Korgath.
Alright, wherever Korgath is, there is suddenly a lockbox of gyoza, a card, and booze just appears in front of you.
And then
I'll drink the booze, eat the 40 gyozas, and put the card in my breastplate.
Aww.
And continue on my journey to figure shit out.
It's all. Damn. DM needs a break to cry. No, really. I do need to go pee, though, so I'll be right back, everybody.
IP, aka cry. Ugh.
If only they'd had meat pies.
Those would probably work, though. One hand and just eat them
Yeah.
one at a time.
There you go.
They have those at the Chinese buffet I used to go eat at over where I work. They're so good.
Yeah, they're
They come with like a ginger sauce.
dangerous. Refill my drink while he does that.
We killed our last world bosses today. We have retired from world boss hunting.
Nice.
Ow.
We got
Everybody
all we
get all
needed
their
from them.
loot off of what they needed, or
All that made it worth it. I mean, you don't want to. I mean, people were tired of spending hours scouting for maybe one piece of loot to drop for one person.
yeah.
So yeah, I got the hammer I wanted off the Green Dragons guild we were allied with. Got their hammer for their feral earlier in the week, and we killed 3 out of 4 of them today, and that was it. We're done. Calling it off.
It's definitely gonna be interesting here in like 10 minutes when Ral has to fucking open his eye to cast the big shit. It's also gonna be like, oh, hold the fuck up.
This is fine.
How cool is this spell, though, right?
That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Hello. All right. So, Gorgath got his little care package. Is there anything else you guys wanted to do before heading back down to the Forest of Hopes and Dreams?
I'm just along for the ride.
May I offer a speedier journey home?
I thought we
guess
were.
I shouldn't say home to the capital.
Are we going to the field of hopes and dreams?
Either or.
That's right, they were holding him in the Fields of Hope and Dreams, weren't they?
I just got here, but I thought that's what. Not the oldest guy, but the older guy said.
Yeah, that's where that's where Asuka's army is right now and all the Kitsune. But you
Would
could,
it be quicker to get there from here or from the capital?
it'd be quicker to teleport to the capital and go up. Just take a look.
Alright.
Geographically speaking. That's not the map. That's the map.
I mean,
that's kind of like half a dozen.
yeah, it looks like it's as broad as it is. Where they in?
So it really doesn't matter. Okay, well then I'll just save the spell slot.
Okay.
We'll just what?
All right. So as you mount up and head into the field, you are overwhelmed with a sense of quiet determination. Once again, you're noticing that a lot of the blooms have turned blue again. This strikes you as strange, considering Asuka admitted that her violin was no longer working. As you journey down through the field of hopes and dreams.
Strange country. Strange country. Never seen leaves on trees change so much.
It's probably going to only get weirder as we.
Ain't that the truth?
You ever seen a tree made out of bacon, Christoph?
No, but it does sound kind of good.
Oh.
Except the bacon's all rotten and trying to hit you.
Not as good anymore. Are you alright, Captain?
Just don't trust the meat trees or the meatballs.
Or the
Sounds like
grass,
you
for that
took
matter.
Meat grass?
We'll have to catch you up on that. You know what? Are you in for some midday trauma? Raul's
Let's
going to
not-
cast encode
No,
thoughts and
no,
wave
I'm
a string in front of Christoph.
No, I'm past. I don't need that right now. I try to live my life trauma free.
Then you may be in the wrong place.
Yeah.
We'll see. Or maybe I'm just what you guys need.
Oh, well, if you can handle whatever this is, then
Peace talks. What could go wrong?
Raul waves the string. I'm talking about this.
No, I'm good.
Raul will ball it up and open his hand, and all of a sudden the string is gone.
I like to experience things firsthand.
I mean, it's still a first-hand experience, just someone else's.
No. I am good.
Christoph, the only sensible one so far.
If I had been behind them, were there still meat trees and shit, like, afterwards?
No, he didn't see any sign of any of that.
Okay. What would the trees that had been meat look like?
They just look like trees. Looked all normal.
Alright.
So,
So, whose side are we on during these peace talks? I'm just
The
trying
side
to
of
I'm just-
peace.
Okay, that works.
Radovan pipes up again, and he's like, "Well, we need to get that red gemstone back because it's got a dragon inside of it, and that seems kind of important. Both the general and the princess have pledged ships towards that cause, but neither of them will lift a finger until the other one has stood down. So that's where we're at currently."
By the way, quickly, what season is it currently, and what is the weather like?
It is getting to be later fall, and it's getting pretty cold. You know, the snows are going to start coming soon.
Ooh, I like snow. Just gotta watch out for the yellow. It is not lemon flavored.
Disgusting.
Christoph seems to...
Exact.
You seem to be speaking from experience, Christoph. Never mind.
I feel like that might be like your meat walls for me.
So the journey continues through the field of hopes and dreams. You finally get back to the forest, where you've left the kitsune and the princess. But whereas before it looked like a fledgling village that was just getting started, as the kitsune um, put everything together, uh, now things look decidedly different. In fact, it kind of looks like a war zone, just before all the destruction and such. You arrive at the Asuka camp, and it looks like most of them are camped out next to the Kitsune village. Um, you see Kama and Yume running around, making sure that supplies are in the right place, making sure that none of the other Kitsune are getting in the princess's way. As for the princess, well, she is standing around a little tent, inside of a tent, I should say, um, looking around a table. And inside the tent, Jocko's around, bumming around in there. Lulu seems to have wormed her way in. You can imagine that they probably got tired of telling her to get out. Kama pops her head into the tent, and then pops back out when she does a double take as you guys approach. She raises her voice. Radovan and the others are back. You are quickly set upon by a mixture of Kitsune and Asuka soldiers, their armor bearing the blue cherry blossom that is the Asuka sigil. And you are helped off of your mounts. The princess and Musashi both step out of the tent to greet you as well.
Inako bows.
She
Christoph bells. He's like, oh shit, this is what we do here. Okay.
She gives you a bow in return, Inako, and pauses on Christoph. You're new.
So it seems.
Are you here?
I'm an outside consultant.
I see. She looks to Radovan for an explanation. Radovan simply shrugs his shoulders. Seems to be on our side for now, he says. The princess seems to be used to just accepting these things. She's like, very well. Welcome to the war camp.
Thought you guys said we were coming to peace talk.
Well, that's what this
One
is.
must be prepared for peace not to be accepted.
Then they're not very good talkers.
We're hoping to avoid that situation, Asuka says grimly. In fact, that's what we were discussing. Your Jacko, though, I don't think he has a very good way with people in these kinds of situations. Radovan waves his hand.
Sadly, that is the nature of scholars.
Right. Radovan waves his hand. Zarbosa's right. Jocko, talented as he is,
I
maybe-
might be able to act as a neutral third party and provide a place for these peace talks to take place.
How do you propose to do that?
Well, is there a clearer space in the wood?
Well, there's a clear space on the edge of the woods. That is where they were going to be held.
I can create a thing that we can go in that like a conference room.
Yeah. Asuka frowns.
No evil can get in or out.
Tanaka wouldn't like that, Asuka says. He is selectively traditional. He wouldn't want
It's a
anything.
temple.
He wouldn't want anything to happen outside of the view of his army.
Could probably make it with a platform at the top where you could set up there and then just be an extra safety precaution, if you will. When do these talks start?
In about 3 hours from now.
Oh, okay. Well, I could put it up and let you look at it and see what you think.
The
I
prince.
really just want to try this new spell that was in Xanthar's.
The princess raises her hand. If you are an ally, I would implore you to save your magic in case things don't go peacefully.
Girl, I got magic for days.
Now, on to the matter I sent you out for. Did you happen to find out anything about Waterfall?
Plenty.
You should know it before these talks begin.
Well, that's what I was hoping for.
You're not going to have peace talks. Tell her beforehand. But go ahead.
The entire city was burned to the ground.
She lets out a defeated sigh. At least tell me it was an accident.
No, and everyone inside the tower burned alive.
And it was Tanaka that did
As
this.
well as most of the town.
What possible reason could he have for setting a torch to Waterfall?
Just show her.
Really?
She nods.
Raoul will again set down the music box, begin to lightly open it up. And he's gonna let it play out for a little while longer. A minute or two.
Hmm. After the end of the memory plays, Miyamoto looks annoyed. He says there was no reason for them to keep attacking the troops as they were. They only endangered those civilians' lives. But Asuka puts her hand out and touches him. It isn't their fault, dear Miyamoto. If Tanaka hadn't had his little rebellion, it wouldn't have happened in the first place. I don't think there's any ambiguity here. She has a determined look on her face. I think if people know the lengths to which he was willing to go to keep control, they'll probably think twice about following him blindly into battle.
And we have a way to broadcast it to his entire army, and then some.
Be careful. You don't want to release what's in it. Remember.
I understand.
The princess seems to regard you for several moments.
Me?
All of you.
Say,
There
girl
is-
checking me out already?
There is something I feel I should mention. Some of my Eru's magic is coming back. You no doubt saw some of the blue blossoms.
We did.
Does it have a Same kind of feel to it.
Mm, it does. The magic she's starting to work with her arrow she's holding, you can kind of trace a bit of connection between it and the music box now. Almost like it's absorbing a little bit of the music box.
Okay, that's interesting. Never seen that happen before.
She looks concerned. What's that?
Well, like whisper, Princess. Well, Your Highness, contained in this music box is what we like to call an ancient fae. Basically, a collection of arcane energy. Your instrument seems to be siphoning the energy from the music box. It's interesting.
She shares your curious expression as she looks at the instrument and then looks at the box.
I don't know if that's the type of energy you would necessarily want your instrument to absorb, though. It's a bunch of angry energy in there.
That is concerning. But she does look conflicted this time. But I do need to be able to wield all the power I can get.
Simply be careful. The source of its power has changed, thus its abilities may be warped in some fashion.
I will.
Also, we're going to have to release this back to let it disperse eventually as
Like you did with the Gaian?
no, I didn't do none of that. That's all them.
Yes,
I didn't have
like you did
anything to do with
Gaia.
that.
I see. It's clear there are forces at work here beyond even my own understanding. And that's what concerns me the most. That's why I want this Tanaka business behind us.
To be honest, the only one here that seems to have an understanding of any of this is our new friend Christoph.
Indeed, and I have many questions for your new friend Kristoff after the talks.
Oh. Might have a character be a king on two continents. One here and one over there.
But for now, she... So did you show her any of the hunter? Or any of that, stuff that happened after Rel?
No, I was just showing her the memory
Okay.
from the box. I wasn't
Did
encoding
Hilda?
anything.
Did Hilda ever catch up?
Nope, Hilda never caught back up with you.
That lion snake.
Dangling plot thread. So, Asuka...
Also, I think in case of Tanaka's almost inevitable folly and choice coming up, you think you could keep him talking for about 10 minutes?
Oh, that wouldn't take too much effort. He really loves doing that.
He does. He does. I also have somewhat need of what I'm going to make do, so I'm probably going to do it regardless at some point during the talks.
Are you like trying to trace his cell phone or something?
No, winter is coming.
I'm pretty good with the weather. Does it feel like it's about to get cold?
Yeah, I mean, there's a cold wind coming in. It's definitely, late fall, about to turn winter.
What's the air smell like?
What does the air smell like? Cold right now?
Does it smell like there might be a storm coming? Or is he just like doing a figure of speech?
You're starting to understand that might have been a figure of speech.
Oh. All right. He's a hermit. He hasn't been around.
We have something in common.
Asuka gives all of you another bow. Once again, I am in your debt. I promise I will do everything in my power to aid you against this dragon and whatever threat it may be. She lets out a long sigh. All right. Soon, we'll march both our armies out there. And we'll let the talks begin. For my safety, I'd like to have all of you there with me.
Oh, sorry, that was a.
That's a long ass spell.
I know, that's why I really wanted to cast it. From Xanthar's, it's a new one.
Neat. Good old pocket dimple.
Yeah, pocket temple. It's not even concentration. I don't think it.
It is not concentration, but it does take an hour to cast.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Kana, and for that matter, Princess.
yes.
I suggest heavy weather gear.
The princess and Kama both blink at you a few times and then nod in understanding. Right. So, with all that said, the princess looks at you one last time and bows. Was there anything else you needed to report? Otherwise, I should start getting everybody ready to march.
I think that was everything.
Alright. She seems to be steeling herself, that resolute look crossing her face as she goes back to the tent with Miyamoto. As she goes, her brother walks up. Jansen watches her go. He lets out a low whistle. Whenever she gets that face, you know something serious is about to happen.
Who are you?
Jansen Asuka, I'm the prince.
Oh. You're not going?
Well, yes, but actually no. I'm going, but mostly as a show of iconography. I never really was big on the whole sword fighty thingy.
Am I missing the part of this talks that says peace in the front of it? Are we just not going to have that? I just want to know before I get there.
Jansen.
There's a good chance it may get a little out of hand,
Jansen
but
nods.
Tanaka likes to talk.
Indeed. we're about to meet up with the person who killed our dad, for one thing, and many of our countrymen for another. And now
The
we're
entire
learning
city of Waterfall.
burnt the entire city of Waterfall. Yes, thank you, Inuko. So we're not dealing with somebody who's particularly fun to deal with, and I imagine that the tension in there is going to be a little tight. So it makes sense that they want anybody involved to be able to do the whole blasty, swordy, swingy thing.
Let's go make your dad proud.
Ah, I agree. Let's get to it. And so, over the next hour and a half, you see all the kitsune gather on their makeshift homes, their ledges and balconies, all peeking out with curiosity as the princess starts forming up the vanguard of her army. Hundreds and hundreds of troops now all starting to move in a formal line. It's looking less like an underground resistance and more like an actual army at this point. Radovan comes and finds you all. He's like, the princess wants you to ride with her at the front.
I think a couple of sanyaks will look magnificent in front of this.
We gotta be
Mostly
saying where I
horse-driven
come
army.
from. Hey, what's wrong with the horse?
Nothing.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfuckers,
I'm just saying
let's
we're
go.
going to be easy to spot, like always.
I think that's what she's going for, Radovan says.
Then we'll use it to our advantage.
And so, you join up with the princess, Miyamoto, up at the front.
Psst, hey, Cap.
Yeah.
Apparently shit's about to hit the fan. Are you good at stabbing things?
It's what I do best: stabbing and running.
Well, here, let me see your sword.
Molly'll pull his rapier out a little bit.
I will touch it, and I will cast this on it. So that you
Yeah.
can nuke things even harder.
Holy weapon!
It lasts for an hour. So, like, when we're pulling up to the peace talk, I'll slap that
Pokey,
on his
stabby,
weapon.
bang, bang.
There you go, bud. Hopefully you don't have to
Glowing.
put it back in the sheath. It won't glow as much.
Right.
So, here in the middle of the field of hopes and dreams, now you see it. You see the Tanaka army forming up on the opposite hill. Just glancing at it, the force looks roughly equal in size to the Asuka force, but they do have a tactical advantage in that they have a place they can retreat back behind the walls of Route 10. You notice the princess and Miyamoto glancing around, taking stock of everything. And things come to a halt as both
Are we
sides
within 500 feet of the walls?
of Route 10? No. It's a rather straight shot, but you're about like 1,000 feet away, I want to say.
Okay, that's fine.
So, after both armies do that thing where they just kind of stop and like stare at each other forever, Asuka gets off her horse and she raises her voice, and you're surprised as the voice that comes out is far, far louder than you ever heard her talk. Ral, you recognize thaumaturgy when it happens. Either way, her voice rings out across the field. Traitor General Hideki Tanaka, I am present, along with my closest counselors, aides, the people, and my army. I am here to discuss the nature of the rebellion against the Asuka dynasty and the restoration of order. I should like to parley with you. You get the sense that a lot of this is formality. Radovan lowers his voice and clears his throat. Now's the part where the General's got to shoot an arrow at her feet. He shrugs. Sure enough, there's an arrow arcing through the air, headed directly toward the princess. Miyamoto has his hand on his sword, like he's gonna fucking cut the thing in half, but she doesn't move. And indeed, the arrow impacts right in front of her feet. And her eyes draw across the lot of you. She says, let's go in this.
Okie dokie.
So, she has Jansen go out in front. The opposing army, you can't quite make out their faces, although, Ral, you're observant, so you can kind of pick up what they're saying by reading lips vaguely. They're pretty far away. But you can definitely see some of them murmuring, like, is that the prince? I thought he was dead. Well, we thought she was dead until a few weeks ago. It's true. So,
Did the prince go out there with them, or?
yeah, the prince is out there with him. She also gestured to you all to
Okay.
follow.
Stay within arm's reach of the princess.
Let me just make sure I have everybody's token represented. Where are you, Jansen?
What about old Tanaka's boy? Is he with us too?
No, Machida went back with Tanaka, but Machida is coming.
Okay. New people to. I need a
Imagining
book.
he's all suited up.
Walking all awkwardly.
Yes, he is. At
He's
least
not comfortable.
But I mean, they put Jansen in the same thing. He looks just as uncomfortable. And then Machida's kicking around. So many characters.
Hey, Jance.
Yeah.
Best for the first Blade.
I missed that. You cut out. What was that?
Oh, I just said that the best ruler is win the war before blood is even drawn.
You know, I've been trying to tell her that for a long time, but I think the whole situation has not got her thinking along those terms.
Well, help her out.
Okay. Everybody is represented. So, You all circle up. Hideki is there, as is his son, Machida. Machida and Jansen both exchange the same kind of "what are we doing here" glance. And also accompanying Hideki are several elite-looking warriors and two of the arcane users that you saw going over the stolen teleportation circle, Ral.
Ral sneers fairly angrily at the both of them.
You cannot tell if they sneer back, as they have taken to covering their mouths.
But Ral will kindly nod to in greeting.
Machida gives you all a friendly wave, and then Hideki shoots daggers at him. He slowly lowers his hand. He's like, gosh. Wow, okay, so it's a party in here. Why is everybody being so quiet? Hideki growls gruffly. Quiet boy. So, princess. And prince. I should have known the Asuka blood would survive the attack. Miyamoto steps forward, unable to contain himself. So, you knowingly gave the order to kill the prince, even though he had done nothing wrong. Hideki shrugged. Once his father died, he would be the heir. I would have taken the city and gotten nowhere if people thought he was still alive. And goodness, I even had myself fooled on that one. How did you survive? Jansen looks uncomfortable. Well, I didn't mean to, if that's what you're asking. Miyamoto here seemed to think I was good and gone. I just, kept breathing, you know? Hideki snorts. Well, then I find it very strange that the princess is the one organizing these talks when the true heir is alive and walking around, and in this very tent. Radovan steps in angrily. Don't try to redirect this, Tanaka. Jansen doesn't want the throne. And I'm sure that all the princess really wants is for you to step up and hold yourself accountable to what you've done. Tanaka's face grows cold. Radovan and the rest of you. He sneers at the party. I welcomed you into Route 10, housed you, showed you my hospitality. And you repay me by helping organize this farce. Well, let's hope the princess...
Yet you lied to us, and, quite frankly, your hospitality was a guise in which to have us do your bidding.
Tanaka frowns a bit. No matter. You've clearly chosen your allegiance. I only hope the princess can get you what you need. I'd hate to see Hellfang get away. Oh yes, I know all about that. I think I don't have eyes in the water.
You bring blackmail to peace talks.
That's cheap.
I'm just saying. I could help you. But it seems you've chosen the princess. and I understand that. So, back to the matter at hand. Peace. Huh. We have peace. All I see in front of me is somebody trying to overthrow a recently established government. There was peace up until Asuka started making threats, turning the flowers blue, raising soldiers from the dead. And now look at us. We're back with armies pointed at one another.
And the murder?
There's been a lot of death.
Yeah. Oh, hi, by the way.
Yes. Hello. The princess is clearly desperate, bringing in people who are clearly not from around here, and I haven't seen them before.
He is an acquaintance of ours that we have brought here because we value his opinion.
I see.
An
Tanaka.
investigator.
Tanaka raises an eyebrow. An investigator.
Mm-hmm.
Forgive me for saying I've had quite enough investigation going on in my country anyway.
I think I'm
Oh,
done.
I'm sure that it's more than you would like.
Tanaka steeples his fingers and leans in. Princess, if we're going to have peace, you're just going to have to accept the reality that the rebellion is over. It's been decided. The generals all have my back on this one. My claim to the throne is legitimate. The Asuka dynasty is no more.
But they're right here.
And clearly there are hundreds, thousands behind them that still support their cause and walk underneath their banners.
Hundreds, thousands of what? Peasants? Farmers? Carpenters? Look at my army.
The
Generals.
people of Crescent.
People. People. People will fall in line behind whoever puts themselves as their leader. Let me tell you something about people, Hideki says. They just want to eat, and they just want to sleep, and they just want to fuck. The goings on
Forgot.
of the daimyo, that's not of any import to them. Sure, some of them may have felt some loyalty to the Asuka dynasty, but if you had given it just 5 years, we wouldn't be hearing about the Asukas anymore. Really, what keeps order in line, what keeps peace in line, it's those with force. It's those trained to keep control. Yes, Kristoff. He lets out an annoyed sigh.
I think you forgot one thing about people.
What?
They don't want to be fucking burned alive.
Hideki, his face grows very serious and then quiet.
And I wonder how everybody else would feel if they knew that's how you treated people who didn't fall in line.
While Christoph has been saying this, Raul's going to have set the music box and is sitting there with his hands on either side of it.
I've been to your tower. I know what happened there. And I know what you did.
For once,
We all do.
Hideki is silent.
So,
And we wonder, what would your generals think?
I bet we'll find
What
out
would your
soon. Don't worry.
soldiers think?
Soon.
Machida,
Great Hideki. Burning people alive. In a temple of peace. Wow.
Machida's face is starting to grow more and more concerned as you keep talking. He's glancing over at Hideki. Dad, what are they talking about?
Falls.
Waterfall.
Yeah, waterfall. Been there lately. Machida.
Lavender Tower.
It's gone. Well, it's mostly
It's
gone, but all the
ash.
people that are there are gone.
Should I just show them, Princess? Refresh Hideki's memory. He is getting on in his years.
I think you should, Asuka says, maintaining eye contact with Tanaka.
When that is said, I'm going to reach over and touch Rao and cast Sanctuary on.
Ral is going to reach out through the rank and file, find all of Hideki's commanding officers, and all of Princess Asuka's commanding officers. And start to show the memory.
So,
From start to finish.
displaying like a holographic projection in the sky against everybody who's been tapped. You see, for a third time, the memory of what happened in the tower play out. Hideki, in perfect, recognizable detail, setting the tower alight. Machida looks shocked and then furious, and he rounds on his father. That's why you sent me away. You fucking murderer.
And as the message ends, and the memory fades, Ral brings some measure of calm and peace with his own thoughts. For those of you that have seen this and wish no part in this regime, lay down your weapons and return to your homes. And for those of you who would wish them harm during this process that Ral has been showing the memory, I've been casting control weather. And a storm is beginning to brew.
Oh no!
Arctic cold.
Kristoff's kind of backing away from people. Like, just stay. Just don't get too close.
Arctic cold, storm force winds, driving hail, blizzard.
Nice.
I suggest you let them leave. Lest you be torn asunder.
You forgot one thing.
What's that?
The storm's just missing one thing.
Oh no, it's straight up thunder snow.
Oh, you mean there's the lightnings there?
Oh yeah, no, it's a big
It's
storm.
my favorite kind of weather.
I'm a big fan of lightning.
So, the scene around you going from a crisp evening to a tempest over the course of the 10 minutes of the conversation you've been having. As the memory plays out in the minds of all of Tanaka's generals, you see dissent forming on Tanaka's line. He desperately turns around to try and shout back to his men. They bring foul magic. Don't trust them. You can see the storm. It's their doing too. The sound of the storm drowns out Hideki's voice. Machida, at this point, leaves the conversation in a huff. And Hideki turns to try and grab control of him. Machida, boy, get back here.
Inuko's going to step between them.
I did say to let them leave, if they so chose, Tanaka.
That is my son.
And he
make
makes
great
his own
By the
decisions.
look of it, he no longer cares for what you have to say.
Machida does not even offer a final word or even a final glance back. He just starts walking over to Asuka's side. And now you're seeing a lot of generals on the Tanaka side starting to hesitantly put their weapons down and walk over. Tanaka now desperately raising his voice. Fall back in line. That's an order. Stop
Or
them.
what, you'll burn them too?
You be quiet. Stop them. Stop them from leaving.
I'm afraid, Tanaka, that you are no longer in charge of this situation.
I am in charge. You...
Ral's going to raise his voice, and it's going to boom. No, Tanaka. Your people are allowed to leave. All of them. Every soldier, every archer, every horseman, every general, every mage may walk away from this and not have their hands soiled by the blood on yours.
He stares at you, one by one. You see his men desert. Only a few at first, but there are others that are emboldened by the first few. Soon, a wave, and then all of them. Even the ones that seemed reluctant. They look around at the dwindling numbers, and they realize a lost cause when they see it.
I think you understood much less about people than I did, Tanaka.
But
we want more than just shelter and food. We wish for leadership we can trust. Leaders who will not boldly lie to our faces. And those who would be kind and fair in all situations. Perhaps the Asuka had wronged some in the past. But in seeking to right that wrong, you've blackened your own soul.
Asuka raises her chin, staring at Tanaka as all of the soldiers desert him all around you. She says, Zerbos is right. All of them are right. Tanaka, Force has its place, but it's a very small place. Hideki, Tanaka, you are exiled from the island of Crescent. I will not have a traitor general on my lands. This enrages Tanaka. He lets out a yell, and what happens next takes place in less than a second. Hideki goes for his katana and starts pulling it out, but before you can even register it, Miyamoto has his own out, and Tanaka stops moving. You realize quickly it's because Miyamoto's got his sword through Tanaka's throat. Asuka shakes her head. I did try to keep you alive, she said. Musashi, we have people to lead. Yes, Princess. He nods to her, pulls his sword out of Hideki's throat. You see a spray of blood fall down all over his armor and onto the grass below. He kneels there for a bit, looks up one last time at Machida, and then slumps to the ground, dead.
I mean, you want him to stay dead?
I believe that would be the choice of his son.
You want your dad dead?
Machida.
While we're having this conversation, I'll just do this. So he's just out.
Machida looks very overcome right now. And then he shakes his head. The man already disrespected the cycle enough. Let's not let him disrespect it further. I'm done with him.
All right.
Machida.
Poke him a couple times. Just once, I'd probably do it. Once, well, Captain.
Overkill.
I mean, I can.
I mean, that thing only lasts about an hour.
You mean to kill him with the explodey light?
Done.
That's Molly will
Yeah, just pull,
expose.
just pull it out, and I'll just end the spell.
Okay.
And I just choose him. 48 radiant damage.
Nice.
He can be ash like those people in the tower.
And Tanaka burns up in the middle of the field of hopes and dreams. The princess and Jansen, Miyamoto and Machida all turn to address the people of Crescent. And I think that that's where we'll stop it for the night.
I was really hoping he was going to run off.
Fine.
I was going to hit him with a Call Lightning at 8th level for max damage.
I didn't feel like protracting that out. One Hideki versus an entire party was not going to go any other way. So, awesome. So the